Facebook began with a simple idea: turn a student directory into an online social map. In the early 2000s, universities often had printed or internal Facebooks that helped students identify classmates. Mark Zuckerberg and his Harvard roommates took that familiar concept and made it interactive. Instead of just seeing a name and a photo, users could build a profile, connect with others, and form a visible network of relationships. That shift was powerful because it copied something people already understood, then added speed, scale, and constant updates. At first, Facebook was not trying to be the entire internet. It was a campus tool built around identity, exclusivity, and real social circles. But those ingredients would become the foundation for a much larger transformation. The earliest version of Facebook was limited to Harvard students, which made it feel private, credible, and desirable. That exclusivity mattered. Users were not joining a random public message board, they were entering a digital version of their own campus community. Soon the service expanded to other universities in North America, carrying the same sense of trusted identity with it. This was one of Facebook's biggest early advantages. It grew through real-world institutions where people already had reasons to connect. College networks created dense clusters of users, and each new member made the platform more useful for everyone else. That is the classic network effect. The value of the service increases as more people join. Facebook's growth was not just about software, it was about social momentum. In 2006, Facebook opened registration more broadly, allowing most people aged 13 and older to join, with some regions setting slightly higher minimum ages. This changed the platform from a student network into a global social utility. Families, coworkers, classmates, brands, public figures, and communities could all occupy the same digital space. The profile became a personal homepage for ordinary people, but easier to create and update than a website. Users could share photos, write posts, list personal information, and decide who could see what through privacy settings. The key innovation was not any single feature. It was the way Facebook bundled identity, communication, publishing, and social discovery into one place, making online presence feel normal for billions of users. By December 2023, Facebook reported about 3.07 billion monthly active users worldwide. That number is difficult to grasp because it represents far more than a popular website. It means Facebook became a global layer of social infrastructure. For many people, it served as an address book, photo archive, event calendar, messaging channel, news source, marketplace, and memory machine. By July 2025, it was still ranked among the most visited websites in the world, with a significant share of traffic coming from the United States. It was also the most downloaded mobile app of the 2010s. These facts show that Facebook did not merely survive the shift to mobile. It became one of the main ways people experienced the mobile internet. The basic Facebook experience is built around connection and visibility. After registering, a user creates a profile and adds personal details, photos, interests, and updates. Posts can be shared publicly or limited to friends, depending on privacy choices. People can comment, react, and follow pages that represent businesses, creators, media outlets, movements, or public figures. Groups allow users with shared interests to gather around hobbies, local issues, parenting, politics, professional topics, or niche communities. Notifications keep the system active by constantly pulling attention back to new activity. This design turns social life into an ongoing stream. Instead of checking one person at a time, users see many relationships, updates, and conversations compressed into a single feed. Messenger added another important layer by making Facebook not just a place to broadcast, but a place to communicate directly. Private messages changed the platform's role in everyday life. People could coordinate plans, maintain long-distance relationships, contact sellers, manage group chats, or continue conversations that began under public posts. Features such as message editing, limited by time after sending, show how social platforms gradually adapt to the messy reality of human communication. People make typos, change their minds, and want more control. But the deeper point is that Facebook became sticky because it handled both public and private interaction. It was not only a stage where people performed identity, it was also a backstage where relationships were maintained. Facebook's success also came from its ability to make attention measurable and marketable. Advertisers were drawn to the platform because users shared enormous amounts of information about themselves, directly and indirectly. Likes, follows, location signals, interests, friendships, group memberships, and behavior patterns helped create detailed advertising opportunities. For businesses, Facebook offered access to audiences at a scale few media systems had ever provided. For Meta, this turned social activity into a massive commercial engine. The more people used Facebook, the more data the platform could process, and the more precisely advertisers could target messages. This business model helped fund rapid expansion, but it also created one of Facebook's deepest tensions. The same personalization that made the service profitable raised serious questions about privacy and influence. Privacy became one of Facebook's defining controversies. The Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal showed how data collected through the platform could be used in ways many users did not expect or understand. The issue was not simply that people shared information online. The larger concern was how data could move through apps, partners, analytics systems, and political operations beyond the user's direct awareness. Facebook's design encouraged sharing, but most people did not have a clear mental model of what happened behind the scenes. This created a trust gap. Users experienced Facebook as a familiar social space, while critics saw it as a vast data system capable of profiling behavior at scale. That gap remains central to debates about social media power. Facebook has also been criticized for its role in political manipulation, especially around the 2016 U.S. elections. A platform built to connect friends and communities can also be used to spread targeted political messages, emotional narratives, and divisive content. The feed does not treat information like a neutral library. It prioritizes what is likely to generate engagement, and political content often triggers strong reactions. That makes the platform vulnerable to manipulation by campaigns, interest groups, foreign actors, and misinformation networks. The danger is not only false posts. It is the ability to test messages, amplify outrage, and reach specific groups with content that others may never see. Facebook made communication more efficient, but that efficiency applied to persuasion and propaganda too. The platform's psychological effects have been another major concern. Facebook can help people stay connected, but it can also encourage comparison, dependency, and low self-esteem. A feed filled with curated highlights from other people's lives may distort reality. Users see vacations, achievements, relationships, celebrations, and polished images, while their own private struggles remain invisible. Notifications and reactions add another layer by turning social approval into a measurable signal. A like, comment, or share can feel rewarding, and the absence of one can feel personal. This does not mean Facebook affects everyone the same way, but it shows why social media design matters. When identity, attention, and validation are constantly quantified, the emotional consequences can be significant. Content moderation has been one of Facebook's hardest problems because the platform operates at enormous scale. Billions of users can post text, images, video, links, and comments across many languages and cultural contexts. That makes harmful content difficult to detect consistently. Facebook has been accused of allowing fake news, conspiracy theories, hate speech, and copyright violations to spread too easily. Critics argue that engagement-driven systems may reward shocking or inflammatory material because it keeps people reacting. At the same time, removing content raises disputes about censorship, fairness, and political bias. The platform is caught between competing demands: protect users, preserve expression, satisfy governments, serve advertisers, and maintain growth. At Facebook's scale, every moderation choice becomes controversial. Facebook's story is not just the story of one company. It is the story of how social life moved on to platforms that are privately owned, globally used, algorithmically organized, and commercially optimized. It made connection easier, gave individuals and businesses powerful publishing tools, and helped define the modern internet. But it also exposed the risks of building social infrastructure around data extraction, engagement metrics, and centralized control. The same system that helps a family share photos can influence elections, shape self-image, spread misinformation, and create detailed behavioral profiles. That is why Facebook remains important even when newer platforms get more attention. It represents the central bargain of the social media age: connection in exchange for attention, data, and trust. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.